Okay, so I've already kind of started this project already. I wanted to I had two screws that I needed to remove. Here are the screws. Okay, and I'll show you where they were located. They were located there and right over here. I don't know if you can see that good. Let me move my lamp a little bit. See? Okay. Now I had to move those two screws so that I could get to the heart of the mechanics of this machine. So in order to do that, just kind of lift it up and tilt it. And let me put my camera down for a second. And wow. Okay, I want to make sure I don't flub up anything here. I'm using my handy dandy Swiffer box to hold that open. Swiffer, shout out to you. Anyway, move you in a little closer. This is the part that we're focusing on right here. This is the part to the lid switch. And this is where I'm going to install the override. Originally, it was put down in here. So I had to pop it out. And I'm going to put the wire in. One end is going to go on the left-hand side, and one end is going to go on the right side. And you can probably, if I bring it close enough, you might be able to, I don't know if it'll focus in, and where you can see that there's space there to put the wire in. And let me show you the wire. That's why you want to really be careful what size wire you get for this. I got a 14 gauge wire, which is pretty small. But you see that it will fit right in there. See? What I'm going to do, before we do all that, I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut the wire and strip the ends of the wire. We'll install it, and then we'll secure it with some electrical tape and try it out and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up, and we'll do that in a few minutes. Okay, as promised, I wanted to show you the materials that we're going to be using for this DIY project today. Some of this stuff may not be available to you, but if it is, it's a good thing to have. For instance, this is the original paperwork for the appliance that I'm getting ready to fix. As you see, this appliance is about almost 30 years old, 26 years or so old. But like I said, even though it's been owned for a long time, it doesn't mean that it's time to chuck it out. You know, as long as you can still get the parts, it's worth giving it a shot, you know, to repair it as opposed to getting rid of it and buying a whole new machine. Anyway, so I've got the original paperwork. I had the paperwork because I wanted to see the part numbers and the model number and all that stuff, which is also located in the machine, and I'll show you where that's located in the machine in a minute. Like I was telling you, right here on the inside of the machine is the label that gives you the serial number and all that jazz. As you see, my label is very old and kind of beaten up. So that's another good reason why you might want to keep the paperwork. So if you can't read the label, you can always go back to the paperwork and see what the model number and everything is. Okay. Also, I have a screwdriver. I got two here. There may be some people that experience some sensory issues if you use the electric one. So if you don't want to use electric, you can always use standard. And I have a standard one here, and I've got this screw here just to kind of show you. There you go. Let me try it again. Yeah, here we go. It has a magnetic tip, and I like using a screwdriver that has a magnetic tip because sometimes you may have like really tiny screws that are hard to get your, I got kind of fat fingers, so it might be really hard to grab them with your fingers. So as you unscrew them and you take them out, so it just holds and takes them right on out and keeps you from having to try to use your fat fingers to get into places. Or it could be maybe you don't have fat fingers, maybe you have some finger dexterity issues. So So either way, use the manual if you cannot tolerate using the motorized one. Oh, and another thing, I just got this. I got it from Lowe's. It's $20. And one of the coolest things is, I was thinking, okay, I've got a way to cut my wire and everything, but I was like, how am I going to strip it? Well, guess what? This comes with a built-in wire stripper. Hello, right there. No fuss, no muss, no worry. Just put my little wire in there, pinch it down, and shoot, strip it right on off. Nice and clean, just like that. So, that was a great thing. Okay, here, got my wire. These are the parts to my thingy here, so I'm not going to really talk about that because I already have the part in that I need. Anyway, here's my wire, and as I was telling you before, this is 14 gauge. That's the size. And I just bought this wire. It's the 7 cents per foot from Lowe's. Instead of spending $5, $6 for a whole roll, just get yourself a little bit and save yourself some money. Here's my black electrical tape, pair of scissors, and this is the owner's manual for my new screwdriver. This is just a tip for all of you guys. One thing I like to do is I keep all of the manuals, as you can tell, from my appliances. And what I did with this one, I actually stapled the receipt on the inside of it. So if anything goes wrong or whatever, I don't have to run around and try to find the receipt. It's already going to be attached to this, and this is going to go into a file with a whole bunch of other owner's manuals that I've had, which, by the way, I really need to clean out because some of that stuff I no longer have. But anyway, that's another issue and maybe another video. Anyway, so this is what we're using today for our DIY project. Okay, moving forward. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the label from my wire because we don't need that. That was just for the purpose of purchasing it. It's not going to do me any good to keep. Okay. And I'm going to cut myself a nice little piece of wire. It don't need anything too terribly big. A couple inches should do. So I'm just going to make kind of like a little U shape. Let me get that. So I'm going to, hope you can see this okay. Got my wire cutter. Put it in the little teethy and clamp down. And there it is. And then what we're going to do is going to make a little U-shaped thingy here. I wonder if this is long enough. No, it's going to be kind of U-shaped. There it is. What I'll do is I'll strip these ends here. Okay. So, here we are. I'm going to attempt to use my little built-in stripper thingy here. I've got one side done. Well, I'll just show you. It took a little bit more effort than I thought it should, but anyway. So, here on the side, you see the opening. I have to put the wire in the opening. And it has a little slot, so you got to pick the slot that the wire fits in. And then you press, oh no, can you see it? Can you press down? Oops, I'm sorry, I'm pressing. And then you have to move, kind of do this, so you can kind of move it around the wire. And then you should be able to pull the wire from the casing. But as you see, I'm struggling. I didn't really do it. So, next thing, try scissors. Do the same thing, just kind of lightly apply a little pressure with the scissors. This apply a little pressure with the scissors, a little bit, not too much because you don't want to cut the wire. But you see how it's separated now? And I just take the scissor and kind of work this casing off. I have removed the casing from the ends of my wires, and this is what it looks like. So we're just going to bend it right here in the center and make this kind of U-shaped thing. And this is the bypass. This is what we're going to install into the machine. And what we're actually bypassing, let me show you what we're actually bypassing. We are bypassing the safety for the lid. See this little hole right here? That is the little switch for the safety. You can stick your finger in there. Here's the little thing on the machine that actually, so when you close the lid, it goes into the hole and it presses down on the safety, which means that the machine is safe for the gyrator to move, and this gyrator is the thing right here in the center. The agitator, I should say. Okay, well, sorry about that. My other camera's SD card got full, so fortunately, my old camera is fully charged. You're going to bypass that switch so that the machine can just operate. So when you do that, you have to remember that the machine is not going to stop agitating, or it's not going to know that the lid is up. It's going to agitate. So you want to make sure that all your clothes are in and everything, and that your hands are not in the machine at all. It's best to go ahead and put it, close the lid until your laundry is done. Okay, as you see, I have the lid up, and the part to the bypass that we're wanting to disconnect is this part right here. It's 3-wire. We're going to look for yellow, green, and gray, or maybe black. It could be black in your machine, I don't know. Wire. And just press the clip and lift it right out. It comes up pretty easy. And what you want to do, you want to insert your bypass where the, I don't know what color that is. I'm just going to go with tan for now. So in the tan and the gray wires, this is where I'm going to install the bypass. Not in the green. Okay. So you just kind of have it kind of flat, so it can go in to the slots. Press it in there good. Same with this one. Kind of tighten it up a little bit. Go in the slot. I'm just going to cover this entire piece like so. Pinch it together. And there. Got a nice tight seal. There we have it. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and get right back to you. Okay. So I've got the lid back down. I haven't put the screws in yet. As you can see, the screws are not in yet, because I'm getting ready to test it out. Let me open up the lid here so we can see what's happening. I've got the power turned back on at the breaker box, and let's see if we got this thing working. What I'm wanting it to do, I want the water to drain out, and I want it to spin. So I'm going to pull it. And there you have it. Look at that. You see it's spinning? The water is draining out. Wow. I have successfully manually put in the bypass to bypass the lid switch so that my machine is now working and functioning as it should again. Let me just open up this lid one more time and let you see. As it is spinning, see the water is all the way out now. And it's just spinning, spinning, spinning as if, oh, there's one little thing left in there. Huh, yeah. So it's spinning and getting all of that wonderful water out of there. So, you know what? My Kenmore is still alive and kicking, and we will happily continue doing many, 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 many more loads of wash together. Thank you for joining me again for another one of my DIY projects. I hope that I've given you some good tips, and I hope that I help you have the courage to try some new things and see how good it is to make repair.